Well, I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, in the inner city, like on the west side. Me and my father, first we stayed with my grandmother for a while, and then we ended up moving. Just me and my father, was just us. Moved out in the county, like in Jennings. And I went to elementary school at Jennings Elementary, and then I went to the junior high, and then I ended up going to the high school. But mostly through my whole childhood, it was just me and my father. My father raised me. I didn't meet my mother until I was like 14 or 15 years old. So it was just me and my father the whole time. And he worked for Bi-State, and it was just like, he worked nights. So when I'll be a good child while he's there, doing everything I'm supposed to do, and as soon as he leaves, I'll become someone else. And he told me everything I need to know. If I just would have listened to him, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you right now. It's just, I didn't listen. I just did what I wanted to do, and I hung out and just steady getting more trouble. He wasn't able to be there with me 100% of the time because he had to pay the bills. He had to provide for me, provide for himself. So it was just hard. It was just hard for him to be there when he needed to be there because he had to go to work. I would just say it had to come from just me wanting to hang out and be around my friends. They was doing it. It seemed like the thing to do, so I just followed them. We was all like a big group of kids just doing bad things, basically. Like, at the time, we looked at it as we weren't really doing too much bad things, just joyriding around the cars, smoking, hanging out, but it started to escalate, you know. We started doing other things, breaking in houses just to feed what we was already doing, riding around in stolen cars. We needed gas for that, smoking marijuana, we needed to buy that, so we started doing other crimes to finance those crimes. So that's how it all began. I went to Jennings Senior High, and I didn't graduate. I ended up getting kicked out for fights, steady getting in trouble with the police, breaking laws, and then I ended up, I think I ended up going to boot camp. I ended up going to boot camp for, I think I had a possession of marijuana charge, drug charge, or something like that. So I ended up going to boot camp, and when I went to boot camp, that's where I got my GED at. So I obtained my GED in boot camp, and I ended up doing like a 120-day shot. And I ended up getting out, and it really didn't change my life at all. I still was out doing things that I didn't have no business doing, like riding around in stolen cars, selling drugs. Well, you know, with coming to selling drugs, you dealing with all different type of characters. And with that environment, it's kind of people try you. They try to rob you. They may try to just take things from you. They test you at times. So your pride is in the way. Now you got this gun. Now you got to feel like you got to protect what's yours. You got to make sure can't nobody take nothing from you. Make sure everybody knows not to even try you like that. So I'm toting guns now. I'm threatening people just to give them the idea I'm not the person that you want to mess around with. So now I'm doing things like I'm getting shootouts with people. And with my little group of guys, we knew who to watch out for, but at the same time, we was like, if we see them, we're gonna go on and deal with them before they even get a chance to do it. So I was offering stuff like that. If I seen somebody that might be a potential threat, I try to go directly at them or try to eliminate them at that time, so they never got the opportunity to try nothing on me. So it escalated to that point to where now I'm shooting at people. I'm riding around looking for people to shoot at. It's just like it went from me stealing candy out the store, stealing cars. Now I'm shooting at people. So it's like it escalated pretty quickly, and I just kept justifying it to myself, saying that it needed to be done because the type of lifestyle I was living. So it got real crazy real fast, and like my father was still there. He was still in my ear telling me what I needed not to be doing, but he couldn't be there. He couldn't be there. It was just like, he'd tell me, I'll listen, but as soon as he leave, I'll go do what I wanted to do. I caught a second-degree murder charge. I went to prison. I got sentenced to 18 years. It was a situation where I was at a New Year's Eve party, and there was a guy there who was intoxicated, but he wasn't really a threat to me at the time, but he was making threats. and my direction and people I dealt with. And like I said, at that time, my thinking, if you threatening me, I'm gonna deal with it. And I'm gonna deal with it right now, and that's gonna be the end of it. So he was threatening me or making threats in my direction, and I shot him. I shot him three, I think I shot him 3 times. He ended up dying right there on the scene. So I got arrested for that probably 7 months after it happened. People at the party, they told the police what happened, and I got arrested for it, and I went to prison. And it didn't immediately, my thinking didn't immediately stop then. You know, I was always thinking like, I'm not gonna stay in prison for no 18 years. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's no way. There's no way I'm staying in prison for 18. Something's gonna happen, and I'm gonna get out. But as time went on, 5 years, 10 years, I'm like, whoa, I ain't going nowhere. And I don't really have no tools. I don't really have nothing. What do I have when I do get out that's gonna help me go in a different direction? So I started, that's when I hit the brakes. I'm like, I gotta get myself together. I gotta get my thinking together first. Because if I go back out here with the same thinking process, I'm gonna make the same mistakes. Yeah, I remember every conversation I ever had with my father. I remember everything. It was just like, he was still there. He was still there. He was still helping me out as far as he could. And he didn't really tell me like, I told you. You know, he didn't say I told you so, but he was like, man, you know what I'm saying? The things you was doing, what you thought was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got lucky. You could have ended up dead. You know what I'm saying? At least you get another chance, or you could have ended up in prison for the rest of your life. So he said, you really got lucky. You got 18 years, make the best out of it. Don't be in there in pity, trying to be all down on yourself, like you got yourself here. Do something while you're here so you can be a productive citizen when you get out of prison. So he came and seen me, you know what I'm saying? We visited a lot, and he stayed relevant in my life, and he helped me out. And I just started to change. Like I say, right around my 8 years, I started to change. I started to do things that would get me prepared for when I got out, because I knew I needed some tools to survive in society, because I didn't really, all I had was my GED. I was looking to get into some programs that could help me with the things I wanted to obtain when I got out. And Concordance was one of the things that was going on in the prison I was at. And they just gave me the breakdown of what the class was all about and seeing if I wanted to be a part of it. But I had already been hearing about it from other people who was in it, coming back to the cell, coming back to the yard, so I was already ready to sign up. They help you with job readiness, help you get ready to where you help you fill out applications, job placement. They help you with the money thing was a real big thing going around the prison. They give you a check to where you can work. So if you don't got no type of income getting out or no type of family support, that's one of the things that's very important, because a lot of guys get out of prison, don't got nothing to come home to. So that money helps them from immediately reoffending, because if you get out and you ain't got nothing and all you know is crime, you're gonna end up doing crime again. That's just flat out the truth. So Concordance, with them helping you with putting a little money in your pocket, you don't really gotta go out and do nothing crazy, because now you got some money. You got some money to where it'll sustain you from week to week until you can find something better. And then you up in here all morning, all day, Monday through Friday, they helping you with other things that's gonna put you in a better place to where you can succeed. So programs like Concordance give them hope to where I can succeed out here, you know what I'm saying? Because we come home, feel like everything's stacked up against us. We can't get a job, we can't get nowhere because of our background, because of things we have on our record. And we get kind of discouraged at times, and it only takes a little bit of pressure for somebody who's been in prison a while just to be like, man, forget it. Forget it, this is what I'm finna do. I gotta do this, I gotta eat, I gotta do this. You just start making up excuses why you gotta commit a crime, which you don't, because there's a lot of things out here helping you, but you go to what's the easiest. It's just natural. I didn't want to go back to prison. So I was willing to try anything that was positive. And because that's all I've been doing is trying negative things, and they haven't been working for me. So I was willing to try anything that was positive, and then I get here, and there's a group of people willing to help me with anything I might need help with. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it my best. I gotta give it my best because these people don't know me and they willing to help me. So if you're willing to help me and you don't know me, I'm at least gonna give you 110%. Everybody's genuine as far as like when they say things to you and they really trying to help you. Like I don't feel like nobody's doing it because it's their job. I feel like they're doing it because they really want to see people succeed. They want to help you. So yeah, I feel like that every time I pull on the parking lot. You know, that's how I feel about Concordance. Like I see it, I'm like, that's what I relate to. Is Concordance is a safe, good place. And they're gonna help you if you're willing to help yourself. Like you gotta show up to get the help. So if you're willing to show up and come, participate, they're gonna be here for you. Like 15 and a half years of prison, no breaks. It's an ordeal. Like you see some things that you don't want to see. Some things come about that sometimes you think you're not gonna never get out of here. It's just like, yeah, and I sit back and I be like, man, like I don't take nothing for granted. I still get up every morning and I smell the air outside before I just go straight to work. I just enjoy being out of prison. Like, yeah, all the time. I do it all the time. My ultimate goal, like I'll say the last 6 months, what's this, August? I'll say the last 8 months. I've really been tested. Like, I had the job at Boxes, and I was a machine operator. But in February, I got laid off. When I got laid off, I kind of panicked, but I didn't. I was just like, man, what I'm gonna do? So I was trying to get a job. I was like, it felt like I had just got out of prison again. I couldn't get the job nowhere. I even called up here, and it was like, all right, we're gonna be on the lookout for you. So I was like, all right, I need to do something. And then I had got 2 weeks severance pay, and then after that, my unemployment kicked in. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to school. So I went to a 160 driving academy, enrolled myself in 160 driving academy to get my Class A CDL. And that was my goal, because I was like, they're felon friendly, like truck driving jobs, and they pay good to where I can take care of myself, take care of my family. So I did that. I was like, man, I gotta get in here, get in school, and get this Class A CDL. So that's what I did. I graduated May 18th. So when I graduated, I ended up going to get my forklift license after that, just to add some more stuff to my repertoire, so I can, when I do get ready to present myself to a job, I have more things that I can accomplish. So I called my job back, because they told me to call them after about 2-3 weeks to see if the workload picked up. But I emailed her, and I let her know what I obtained. And she called me back like, yeah, we got a truck driving spot available and a forklift spot available. She's like, matter of fact, we got a 312s that where you could do both of them. If you're willing to do it, I was like, yeah, let's go. But my ultimate goal is to get a local job driving the truck all day long. I can be home every night, Monday through Fridays. You know what I'm saying? I work all day if I have to, be off on the weekends, be able to enjoy time with my family. But yeah, nothing too big, just something where I can give me a house. I can say this mine's, have my kids and grandkids over, and just live the rest of my life, man, stress-free. Stress-free, that's it.